Namaskar, everyone. A pleasure to be in your company. It's a beautiful day here in Chennai, India, and I thought I would just share this video with you because it's something that I have been wanting to chat a little about with you, and that is about the agarbatti or the incense that we light time and time and again in our pujas, in our prayer room, in all our religious undertaking. And that is great. It is prescribed as we call it dhupam, which is recommended. It is called also the incense or the agarbatti. And first to begin, we have to understand, I'm not stopping anyone from lighting the dhup or the incense. First, we have to understand the ingredients that the dhup or the agarbatti was made out of many years ago is totally different from the quality and the substance they're using today to make the incense. And I'm not talking about all the incense, I'm talking about some. I've been hearing many cases of people who have developed asthma, like myself, because of the constant inhalation of the agarbatti. I've seen and heard many people who did surgery and was closely affiliated with rituals with the Havan smoke, especially some of our elderly priests and Pundits. Some of the devotees who would light the incense and sleep with the incense lit in their room, how much problems they have health-wise today with their lungs and livers and even the heart. When many surgeries were done, there was a level of soot, a black layer of soot around the heart for many of our Pandits. And whereas the Havan is most important and the agarbatti, these things are very, very important. We have to understand some of the substance and the ingredients that they're using today in the agarbatti or the incense is not like some of the ingredients they used to make it with. And because of the chemicals and process they're making this agarbatti, it is really affecting a lot of devotees. For example, myself, if I go to sing or go to officiate in a yajna, and that incense is lit, immediately my throat gets closed up. My breathing, it becomes very difficult to. Once I inhale the scent of the agarbatti, it really closes off my throat. My breathing is affected. And this is just for me. And there are a lot of people now begin to complain about the incense. So I'm appealing to all of you, to those of you who may have pujas, you may want to light it and wave it around the murtis or the form of the Lord. But please, when you light it, you can send it out to the jandi outside. Or when you light this agarbatti, you can place it or you can out it immediately. This is what I do. I still light it. But when I wave the agarbatti or the incense, I out it just after waving it. And this is what we may want to think of doing, because we are told by many of our priests and Pandits that it is part of the puja, which it is. But most of us, we do not talk about the danger of it. Most of it has been harming us. However, there's some agarbatti or dhup that is made out of pure 100% natural herbs and cow dung and various flowers that they would take to make the agarbatti, which is healthy, and that is okay. But we need to read the ingredients. And many of us who tend to buy these packs and buy the different agarbatti to suit the different deity. This is just a package to make money by the stores and the industries. It has created more harm to human health issues. And this is something that nobody addresses. And I thought that I would like to share this with you. If you may like to share your comment on this, it is very important. I mean, most of us love to inhale the incense, which I do sometimes, but constant inhalation. There are a lot of people who just love to inhale this and light it in the room and sleep with it while it lights. This is very, very dangerous for your health. If you can read the ingredients and you see some of the chemicals they're using, it is not very, very healthy. Of course, I'm saying not all, but most of it, because of the ingredients they are made out of, So that's one thing I would like to address, the inhalation of this agarbatti. If you light it, please out it just immediately. And many of our priests, they're suffering today. They're not living long because heart issues, lungs issues, but nobody tends to address it. So I'm just addressing this where it is important. Please, when you light it, please out it just after you wave it. The second thing I would like to address today is something that really concerns me. I have seen it many times in person, and I still seen it this year, and that is the Ganesh Ji's murti that we honor during the Ganesh Utsav, or the festival of Ganesh Ji's Chaturthi. And while this program is amazing, I support all the yajnas and all the leaders. I compliment them for the hard work and they're keeping the tradition alive. But there's something that really I'm seeing that concerns me, is the murtis that are not submerged properly or immersed into the water totally. And that is not nice, because if you are having your Ganesh Utsav, there must be two murtis. One big one for the prominence, so that it can be seen, and the focus should be on Lord Ganesh, which most of us, we see. But the one to take to the water should be a little smaller. We tend to order them from India and bring them to our place, which is great. It shows the love, and it shows how much you love the Lord. You will do anything for the Lord, which is great. And I admire that. What disturbs me is that some of these material, it is made out of like plastic, or it is made out of concrete, it is made out of aluminum, it can be made out of different materials that is not dissolvable in the waters. So that, my dear friends, I'm asking all our pundits that next year, please, on the devotees, please inform the leaders, because they need advice too. They don't know it all. I repeat this, our pundits do not know it all. We look up to them for advice, but there are certain things that they do is not advisable, is not acceptable, right? And the murtis that are, the huge murtis that they parade with for the public to see, sometimes they place it into the water and it cannot be dissolved. And it keeps floating in the water, as many videos have been shown. And not only that, but there are others that you have not seen in the water that creates an havoc to the environment. It creates a problem to the fishes. It creates a problem for the laws of the land, which you have to abide with. It creates a problem with people who dive after and get stuck when these murtis are made out of wire and iron. If you love the Lord, you have to love the environment. See, if you love the Lord and you want to emerge Lord Ganesh Ji, you have to emerge understanding. You have to not only conceptualize, but you have to internalize Lord Ganesh. And the merging of Lord Ganesh Murti is the dissolving of Lord Ganesh within our consciousness. It's not only physical, but more so spiritual. And there is a problem at many places. A lot of people are getting into problems when they're trying to emerge the big murtis and it's not dissolving. The murti must be able to dissolve. The devotees who take the murtis to the ocean, you must make sure and see it's totally dissolved. And the fact that it goes into the water is because Lord Ganesh came from the DNA, the muck, the dirt of Ma Parvati, and not Lord Shiva. And of course, he's emerged into the water. And the question is that I asked many times, I did ask the question in New York when I went, why would we want to put Lord Ganesh in the water when we just give him birth? When you give someone birth, you want to be with that person, you want to mold that person, you want to cherish that person, you want to love that person, you want to get close to that person, you want to see that person grows up. But in 12 days, you give Lord Ganesh birth and you send him into the water. It is, however, a symbol of the emergence or the dissolving of the ego and the personalities that we do not like as human beings. So we dissolve the ego, we dissolve the things that we don't like, and we dissolve him more in our heart to keep him there. I know a lot of people cry and say, Lord Ganesh, we're going to drown him. That's not a good term to use. We say we're going to put Lord Ganesh in the water. But there's a symbol, and we forget the symbolism, we forget the meaning of it. And if you have to merge him, which they do everywhere, and that's amazing, that's great, but do not leave the residue or the concrete or the wires or the irons in the water. And a lot of places celebrate big, huge today, never before. In many parts of the world, Ganesh Utsav is becoming even bigger and bigger and bigger every year, but there's a bigger problem. There are a lot of places got tickets this year. There are a lot of people who have to go into court because of environmental pollution. They did not get permission. Of course, here in America, in Trinidad, you can get away with it. On many other Caribbean countries. But my dear friends, you have to merge and dissolve that murti. Please do not do things without understanding. It becomes a threat to other creatures. It becomes a threat to the environment. It becomes a threat to Mother Earth and also Ganga Mata. Right? If you love her, you would not treat her like that, dumping the murtis. So I'm asking all the devotees who are involved in Ganesh Utsav to please inform your Pundits that the big murtis should be there and kept as the worship. But the small chota one that is made out of clay, the clay, dirt, and slight little cement to hold it together, make sure that is the small one you dissolve. You may not want to take the big one, you may parade with it, but bring it back. But the small one is the one where we immerse into the waters. I know a lot of people do not think about this, or we do not understand this much, but it is a concern, and I think it must be addressed. Because if every year we keep doing it, the younger ones will also keep doing it without understanding why they're doing it. And a lot of Hindus do not support this because they think it's pollution to the water. Because she's the mother of water, she's Ganga. And nothing is wrong, as I'm saying, to dissolve the murti. But when we just drop it and we put it there, it becomes disrespectful to the water if you see the murti floating afterwards. As somebody says, it's not a toy. The Lord is something that we cherish and we adore. It's a symbol that we dissolve. And I hope that you understand what I'm saying. The next thing I want to also address is that when we go to these places, many people tend to finish the worship and then open the car trunk and consume alcohol. This is not acceptable. This is not good at all. And our leaders also should make sure that to address this matter before going to the ocean, they must be able to keep that entire day very sattvic, without meat, without any kind of tamasic qualities or even alcohol. So we need to keep that day sattvic as well. And I do hope that you remember these facts so that when next year it comes again, you'll be able to practice this. It is something that really is concerning to a lot of younger Hindus as well. Let us be environmental friendly, perform the rituals, but do it in a very systematic, in a right way. All right? So that's something that I always talk about. The third thing I also like to address, and I do hope that you share this video with mandirs and different places and devotees so that they will understand. I have been going to many wedding ceremony, and as well as it is great, it is wonderful. People have their freedom to enjoy, and which is good. You have to enjoy it. That's what the wedding is for, right? But we are seeing a lot of people who participate in the wedding, like parents, like people who come to the mandap and perform certain rituals. They come not sober. They come with a very different mentality. The breath smells different. The behavior is different, especially with the groom who comes sometimes highly intoxicated and cannot perform the ceremony. This should not be so. The father who is performing the ceremony is on the stage with the Pundits. He has to be sober. You have to, there's certain things you have to stay away with when the rituals are done. Many people who are participating in the wedding ceremonies, we are asking you to please maintain the sattvic parts. And this is something that I'm not seeing. All right? Another thing is that a lot of people tend to bring in the alcohol to the mandap. Many people perform the ceremony and the reception on the same day, on the same ground. I think that also is a problem, because you cannot have the altar of the Lord and then shift the altar aside, and then alcohol bottles are being thrown, and consumption of various different foods are consumed while the altar is there, while the deer is still lighting. And we have to understand, if you want to have your reception, that's your personal choice. Nothing is wrong. You want the best for your child, and that's amazing. But my dear friends, the reception should not be done just after your religious ceremony. I'm stating this again. Your religious ceremony, there are two factors of it. Your reception, the things you want to eat and drink should not be on the day, because the bride and the groom, the dullah and the dulhin, they are still fasting. The kangan is still on their hands. The rituals have just been done. The pandit is still there. And I think our Indian men have to have a better understanding. What are you showing your children, right? What are you showing your child? When you open the car trunk and you start consuming alcohol, you cannot walk properly. You start misbehaving with the pundits and the family members when you're behaving like this, right? Men, you do not have alcohol in your home. You cannot consume it somewhere else and be in your own sense and protocol manner for your family and for your friends and for your children. Do you have to drink like that and behave like that? And I'm saying that because the behavior of some of our Hindu men and also some of the women have becoming more and more agitating and very ridiculous to us, the behavior we see. Listen, for the wedding ceremony, not much people come anymore because there is not alcohol or the kind of food they want. The reception is filled. It is overfull. People who do not get invited go to the reception, but when it comes to the wedding, nobody comes to bless the poor bride and groom. Sometimes it's just a few people, but the reception is overfilled. Again, that's your personal choice. But I'm just telling you where our Hindu ceremony is going. It keeps watering down, watering down, watering down. Our leaders are not talking about it. If so, not much of our Hindus are listening. We keep watering down our tradition, watering down. Yes, it's okay. Yes, it's good. And the pundits who says, no, it's not good, we don't call them back, because there are other young fellas who just start. They're saying yes for everything. The date is in Mrityu. The experienced pundit tell you it's beta is not auspicious. But the young fellow who just started 2 days ago, who learned 2 bhajans and make you cry, and you think he's a pundit, he tells you yes because he wants the job. And he says yes because he does it. And the ones who speak the truth and tell you what is right, and tell you the day is not auspicious because it's not a holiday, they are the ones who are ignored. They are the ones who become bad. They are the ones who are not called. But the ones who do not know and says yes to do everything, that the yes pundits, they are the ones who are doing the ceremony and watering down our system, our tradition. And I say this without any kind of of staple in my mouth. I say this without any fear because I have nothing to fear. I'm 40 years in this field and I've seen where our tradition is going. And it seems that the younger fellas, the boys who are becoming pundits, they're saying yes to it and we're taking them. Most of the time, half of the mantras are not correct. However, it's okay. That's your choice. But we do not forget the older ones. We do not forget the ones who are truthful and telling you the right things. All right? I'm seeing a lot of our wedding ceremonies, the alcohol is becoming more and more prominent. Right? And you lose your faculty, you lose your reasoning, you lose your divinity when you become that intoxicated. Leave that for the reception. Keep the reception on a different day. Right? But many of us, we don't want to listen. And we do the ceremony. When you do that ceremony of a wedding in Mrityu and Utpat and Rakshas, that auspicious time is not there for the wedding ceremony. God is there every time, but the auspicious time, you can't go by the light and go through the red. You'll have consequences. Either someone hits you or you get a ticket. There are rules and regulations in our Hindu tradition. There are certain times that is allotted to do certain things and ceremony. And when problem starts coming up in the marriage, then we blame the Pundit, we blame people, but we didn't blame the environment, what was not done properly. All right? So just as we give all the emphasis in the reception, we are on time, we have all the drinks, we have all the food, we have all the decoration, we have all the music. Sometimes for the wedding day, right, nothing is prepared for our Pundits. The wedding day, half of the things are forgotten home. The wedding day, and of course the Pundits have to give you a list. You must request a list from him. Before getting married, let the boy and the girl sit with the Pundit for some kind of advice, right? How to communicate, how to love each other, what is the do's and don'ts, what is to be done on the wedding day, how to live a happy life. This is what the Christian priests, they do. Our Hindu Pundits, we do not have time because probably the boy and the girl is not accessible to the Pundit who is doing the rites. So these things need to be addressed, all right? They need to be addressed because we go to as somebody says nicely, we need to preserve this, our dharma. And you can share your comments. You can tell me what you feel because it seems that the reception is taking prominence with music. You can't hear yourself in the music. You have to have a DJ. You have to have a PA system. You have to have... These things are okay. And everything is done perfectly for the reception, but for the wedding day, half of the things are not there. They are forgotten. Because 10 people got the job to bring it, they didn't come on time. All right? But the reception, people are there for cocktail and alcohol an hour before on the line waiting. Wedding, they don't care to show up. This is what is happening. Have you ever seen it? Yes or no? Are you seeing this in our wedding ceremony? When the wedding is happening, people are busy talking. They don't know what is happening. You attend a wedding to bless that couple, my dear friends. But when you get up and you go to eat, you go outside, you don't bless the ceremony. You don't bless that couple. All right? So these are some of the things we need to address. Not many of us are looking into it, right? But it's a great concern. And I'm saying this, I mean, you're going to a yajna and hearing a nice katha is good. It is hearing some bhajan is nice, but there are certain issues in our society that need to be addressed, right? And it's happening everywhere, right? I'm asking the groom especially, and the groom parents especially, the father, to stay sober. And on that day, do without the alcohol. What is happening? Right? There are many cases the groom is totally intoxicated and he cannot perform the ceremony. The girl puts the sindoor in the boy head instead of the boy putting it in the girl. The boy hands tremble, he cannot put the flower properly. You cannot resist from alcohol from one day. All right? So these things needs to be addressed. And it seems that the people who address them and speak the truth, these are the ones they don't call anymore. I don't know for what reason. Right? But the truth is the truth. Only the truth can save our dharma. Only the truth can bring you, to the top. Not because somebody could sing, and not somebody could have a loud music, and somebody could make you cry, right? It makes you a spiritual leader. And I'm saying this again, right? Many of us are forgetting the learned pundits, and they're going to younger ones who they just become a pundit overnight, right? And we take them, we are the ones who take them, and they're calling a price as well. That's a different topic. That's a different topic. There's no price to God. But my brothers and sisters, I'm asking you to please let us not water down our tradition. Again, as I conclude, I just want to reconnect and recap how I started for our viewers who did not hear the beginning. For Ganesh Utsav, we are asking all the leaders to have the big murti for worship and a smaller one made out of clay dirt. So that is the one that you can dissolve. Please do not leave unattended murtis on the water for others to clean up. Right? You are dissolving it, dissolve it properly before you leave. There are a lot of places the murtis are floating, they are damaging the creatures, they are not friendly to the environment. Alright, so please, I beg you to dissolve the smaller murti and parade with the big one, but take back the big one to the mandir. And take the small one into the ocean or the waters that can be dissolved. The second thing I spoke about is keeping our wedding environment with purity. Come sober, come to bless the wedding. Just as you put the attention in the reception, put some attention, at least 50% of attention in the wedding. Many people forget the wedding ceremony, they forget the pundits. Many places we go, we have no seat to sit on. Nothing is there, right? Nothing is there. People do not pay attention to the puja or the ceremony. But you'll see for their parties, reception, right? Birthday parties, you want to have things weeks before prepare so that everyone will come in such a manner to enjoy the ambience of your party and reception. These things are okay, but at least put some effort in your puja, in the ceremony. Alright, so those of you who will be having weddings in the future, please let it be sattvic. You have to fast, you have to stay away from alcohol. Alright? In many cases, I have attended weddings and the bride, the groom and the groom father, they're totally intoxicated, cannot walk properly, they start to insult the pundits. This is not nice. This is not good at all. And not only for me, but I'm speaking on behalf of all our leaders in the Caribbean, the West, and pundits from all over the world. Right? You need, because when you have a wedding, you're invoking Lord Ganapati, you're invoking Gauri Ma, you're invoking the Devis, Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Ma. And at the same time, when they're invoked, right, and you have the conclusion, you have all these things surrounding. The Kangan is tied with a special mantra, right, in the hands. And while you have that, you cannot consume alcohol or non-vegetarian meals, all right? So these are some of the things I'm addressing, and I hope that you do not take it wrongly. I know that there are some critics outside, they will look for loopholes for my statement to criticize, but I'm saying these things to benefit you and our culture, our dharma. If we do not preserve our dharma, then our karma will be corrupted. And when we do not do the right things to do what is right in our dharma, how can we improve our karma? How can we get moksha? How can we do these things with no feelings and with no gratitude and no kind of connection with God? So let us please understand, what I'm saying is for the benefit of our younger children in the future. Because whatever the leaders they do, what our parents do, our children will also do. You cannot really smoke a cigarette and drink alcohol and tell your child it is bad for you. Because when they start doing it, they will say, Dad or Mom, you also do it, so I am doing the same. Let us try to set some examples for our children. The way we speak, the way we care about ourselves at home, the way we dress, all right, the way we approach life. Let us have some dignity in the way we speak. I'm seeing a lot of parents with children, and the behavior of parents in front of the children, that is also not good for the mental faculty of that child. You can disturb them. You can destroy their psychological balance when you behave in such a way. When you quarrel, when you curse each other, when you fight each other in your home, it disturbs the psychological balance in that child's mind. I'm begging all of you, let us live with some kind of value. Let us have the moral value and ethical value, spiritual value. When we have these three, life will be such a great balance. What we're seeing in this earth today, what we are seeing, how the environment is affecting us. We are asking why there's tsunami. We are asking why the Lord is angry with us. We are asking why so much earthquakes, so much tsunami, tidal wave, and so much natural disaster. You know why? I'll tell you why before I conclude. The reason why is that Mother Earth, Dharti Ma, is affected by our behavior. Our feet sends out that vibration, the way we think, what we say, what we do. Karma, manam, vachan. These three things, what we say, what we think, what we do, it affects Mother Earth. And if we keep doing wrong, then in no time to come, she's not going to grow fruits for us, food. In no time, more and more disaster is going to happen in this world. So it's not that the Lord is angry with us, it's because we are doing things that is not prescribed to do. Dharma is declining. And once it keeps declining and declining, what happens? The energy of disaster showers upon earth and we suffer. We are the ones who are going to suffer. My dear friends, let Mother Earth be pleased with us by what we say, what we do, what we think. Life is not about condemning everybody. Life is not about getting back to people. Life is not about jealousing others. Life is not about hating others. Life is not about becoming angry with everything you see or everything you hear. Just leave it and bypass it. But there's certain things which I'm speaking about. They're very important, my dear friends. Our wedding, the way we treat our gods, I spoke about the incense, how sometimes it's very unhealthy with the modern incense that they're using with some of the ingredients. Please, if you have to buy the ones that are very healthy, that is made with all natural herbs and nature. Don't get the ones with too much chemicals. It can affect your heart, your lungs, your breathing. So all these things I speak about. I thought of these topics in the plane coming. I thought, you know what? I should address it. And I hope that you take it in a positive light and you do not condemn me. If you condemn me, it's okay. But at least you know the truth. At least this fact, the facts that I'm talking about will be heard by others who should practice it. I wish you well. And it's nice to be in your company, everyone. Tell me where you're logging in from, where you're calling from, or where you're messaging from. And I know I'm seeing some comments from many of you. Mankind is not living right, and I know. Thank you for addressing these topics. It's nice, and many priests, pundits are talking about it, which is great, and I admire that. This is what our leaders are there for, not only to read the story, but to bring out the facts and to correct things that are not right according to what we are doing as human beings. If you may have a comment, you may want to put it. Tell us where you're logging in from. If you may have a question, it's nice to ask the question, and I could always address it afterwards. I'm seeing Fort Lauderdale, I'm seeing Toronto, I'm seeing South Africa. Thank you so much. Lord's blessings. And I know a devotee asked, when is Deepavali? Deepavali or Diwali is on the 12th. All right, 12th of November. It's a Sunday. So those dates will be posted in my Facebook, on my page. I'm now in Instagram and Reels, so you can look at some of these information. I have both. Sometimes I may not put the same information in on my page and my Facebook, so you can look at the both to get some more information. So thank you so much. I'm seeing New York City. Thank you, Ashaji. So many devotees. Priyaji Samlal from Canada. Always nice to see all of you. And thank you for your message and for your comments to our dear sister. Ramdhani ji, Didi, thank you so much for your support. You're a person who always supported Sanatan Dharma, and I admire that very, very much. God's blessings to you. And of course, Asha ji, Thank you so much for all your love and blessings. Please share this video, and I hope that this message touches you. Thank you, Himaji from New York, Kamila ji, Dinarain Singh. Thank you so much for all your love and blessings, and always nice to be in your company. I did not go live for a while because the live has become very, very common, and not much people have the time to view it, but thank you so much for doing so. We have Didi Nandi, and I think is Fairy. Thank you so much from Canada. All the best to you, and always nice. I'm in India, so it's morning time here. I leave back for Orlando this evening in a few hours, and I'm here in Chennai. It's very bright and warm. It's beautiful. Probably I can give you a view from my hotel room that I am here. I visited the Murti of Tirupati, Balaji, Lord Vishnu. It was like 4.5 hours to line up to reach to that Murti. The Murti is just like 5 seconds darshan, but you have to line up for 4.5 hours. That's to tell you how the sacrifice you have to make sometimes to receive the darshan. To Ritesh Jaya Bhaiya, thank you so much, Ritesh ji, amazing dhola player, and thank you so much for always viewing. I hope that this message reaches all of you, and I look forward to see you. For the Navratri, I will be in Minnesota at the Vishnu Mandir. We'll be there for the 9 sessions. I'll be there with the devotees of Minnesota, and then of other places I'll be traveling. Nice to be in your company, everyone. Namaste. Tell us where you're logging in from, and I hope my topic will be able to create some sort of awareness and enlightenment in this talk. Namaste, everyone. I will chant a prayer, and I will show you my outside view. Not much to see from this direction, but always nice to be in your company. To Sharon Chetty, thank you so much from Houston. To Nandaji, to Mary, thank you so much, Didi. Thank you so much for your blessings. Paroji, always nice to see you. And thanks always for supporting the programs. Namaste, I will say a prayer today. May Ma, it's Friday here, so I will say a prayer to the Devis, and may she bless you immensely with health, wealth, happiness, contentment. And may you always keep the Lord in your heart, and where she is in your heart, when you invoke her, she becomes a part of you. The Lord, the Divine Mother, her presence in your heart. Hriday Nivasi. Hriday Nivasi means the one who resides in the heart. And every day, 3 times a day, remind yourself, the Mother is right in my heart. The Mother is right in myself. She is the very nature of consciousness. She is within me, seeing, hearing, speaking. She is the one who listens when no one listens. She is the one who sees when you think nobody sees. She is the one who speaks through us when you think you're not heard. She is the one who touches when you think you're not touched. Or she is the one who is protecting you when you feel no one is protecting you. Never feel alone. She is always with you. May Ma bless you now and always. Jai Tvam Devi Chamunde Jai Bhuta Paharini Jai Sarvagate Devi Shakti Mata Namostute. Om Now Durgai Namah. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Vichai Namaha. Bolo Shakti Durga Mata Ki Jai. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Hey Shakti Mata Ki Jai. May your day be delightful, may your day be bright, and may the Mother always be felt in your heart. She's looking out for you. Look out for her because she's right here in your heart. Hriday Nivasi. Thank you so much, my dear friends. I'll give you a little view from the outside, from my room. And of course, here in Chennai, in South India, this place used to be called Madras. And it's a nice view from the outside here. It's a bright day. And as you see the dung, always traffic, always cars, and the rickshaws are still there in India. Nice to take these rickshaws. Beautiful sight here, and Lord's blessings to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Om Tat Sat. Sitaram. Om Tat Sat.